Hello, everybody. This is JJ Hardy with Victory Leadership Coaching. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about the importance of human connection. And the title of this video is Operational Efficiency Does Not Replace Human Connection. And there's a reason for that. So my last couple of videos have talked a lot about systems and processes and all that stuff, but it might be confusing because some of my earlier videos, if you've been watching me for a while, they talk a lot about there's a difference between a manager and a leader, and the manager focuses on tasks and statistic, but a leader cares about the people. Today, I'm going to talk about the dichotomy of both and why it's important in business and important with your team and important with your organization. When you balance the operational efficiency, so the reporting, the systems and processes, the stuff that makes your organization run like a well-oiled machine with human connection, it you create bonds and all that other stuff. But you can't do that if you're constantly focusing only on the systems and processes and the reporting procedures. Those are there, and it's important to establish those, because if your reporting is set up and everybody knows what they have to provide to one another, then unless there's a question here and there, you don't have to talk about it. Having a system around, doing anything, say you're a transportation company and you create a system around how you do the inspection of your vehicle every day, or how you dock a trailer or whatever, and maybe even a safety inspection of a yard if you're a manager in that position. Having a system and having a checklist and all of those things are very, very important. But the reason they're important is because when those are in place, that doesn't mean you stay in your foxhole. That means now everything is running like a well-oiled machine. So now we're going to move to the next step and be intentional about communicating with everybody in the organization. What do you communicate about? Well, I have everything I need in my role, so why do I need to communicate with people? Well, you do that because you have to create relationships. And I'm not saying you go out and drink beer on the weekends with your employees at work or even your boss or anything like that. But I am saying that the human connection is important, and the type of human connection you have, it can be professional with some joking, and you get to know them a little bit by talking about the things that they do outside of work and just, making small talk. But be genuine about the small talk. Actually care about this person. You need to understand a person's strengths and weaknesses, especially if they're a team member of yours. And you need to understand who they are emotionally so you can see when something is going wrong. Part of operational efficiency is making sure that up here and in here, your people are taken care of as well. If somebody is out of sorts, oh, hey, Michael. If somebody is out of sorts, it is very important that you know that. If you don't ever talk to people, then you're not going to know when they're out of sorts. Also, if somebody is injured or something like that, but you never walk around the workplace and see people at work, or if you work remotely, if you don't ever have one-on-one conversations or keep track of how those people are doing, then you're not really going to understand when they're not doing something that's within their normal character. You have to know your people. You have to know their strengths and weaknesses. And by the way, if you are at a slightly lower level, it is also just as important that you get to know your direct supervisors and maybe even that person's supervisor, and then know your peers, so that when you are creating these valuable connections, you notice the same thing. And when you have a bond with everybody above you, lateral to you, and below you, then things are going to start happening in your sphere of influence that are not happening in other people's sphere of influence. And as a result of that, people are going to ask you what you're doing. Create a training program around it. Who knows? Whatever. But this is leadership, people. It's the basics of it. And if you're not practicing these things and you don't know how, but you want to, there are people like me and my buddy Chris Pinkowski, and there are many people out there that can train these things. You just have to ask. But also, there might be somebody within your organization that can train these things. If you want to talk about it, even if it's not to hire somebody, I mean, I can make a referral to somebody if you don't want to talk to me, but make sure you learn these things, because it's going to make your job as a manager so much easier. Operational efficiency is not everything. You have to make sure you're keeping that human connection. That's all I have for today. Again, if you like my content, make sure you like it. If it's on YouTube, you subscribe to it. If it's on Facebook or LinkedIn, you leave a comment there. Below this, there should be some comments. People should be having conversation around this. So please do. And, keep the narrative going. This is important stuff. And if you feel like that's the truth, then reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. Either way, once again, I know it's the 9 days into it, but Happy New Year to everybody. Nothing but love for y'all. JJ Hardy, Victory Leadership Coaching, out here. Have a good day.